Introduction. The Battle of Perryville, also known as the Battle of Chaplain Hills, took place on October 8, 1862, in Kentucky during the American Civil War. Confederate General Braxton Bragg's Army of Mississippi achieved a tactical victory against Union General Don Carlos Buell's Army of the Ohio. However, it was ultimately a strategic victory for the Union, as Bragg withdrew from Kentucky shortly after. The battle resulted in heavy casualties and is considered the largest battle fought in Kentucky during the Civil War. Background. The Kentucky Campaign of 1862 was a significant military operation during the American Civil War. The state of Kentucky, situated between the North and the South, was strategically important due to its central location and control of key rivers. President Abraham Lincoln considered losing Kentucky to be nearly losing the whole game. Initially declaring neutrality, the state's legislature was violated when Confederate and Union forces occupied key locations. Although Kentucky never seceded, Confederate sympathizers established a temporary Confederate capital in Bowling Green. In 1862, Confederate General Edmund Kirby Smith initiated a campaign to invade Kentucky, aiming to obtain supplies, recruits, and claim the state for the Confederacy. The campaign involved multiple armies and Confederate offensives in other regions. Union General Don Carlos Buell raced to counter the Confederate advance, and the two sides converged in the Battle of Perryville. The Union forces ultimately repelled the Confederates, and the campaign ended with the Confederates retreating from Kentucky. Battle. The morning actions of the Battle of Perryville began on October 8, with the 10th Indiana encountering the 7th Arkansas near Doctors Creek. General Phil Sheridan was ordered to seize Peters Hill, which he accomplished with the brigade of Colonel Daniel McCook. However, due to concerns about being outnumbered, General Polk ordered a defensive posture and withdrew Liddell's brigade. General Bragg arrived at Perryville and reorganized his army for an attack. The Confederate attack began with Brigadier General Cheatham's division bombarding the Union forces but delaying the infantry assault. The Confederate brigade of Brigadier General Daniel S. Donelson crossed the Chaplain River and launched a frontal assault on the Union center, but it was met with strong resistance and had to withdraw. The Confederate artillery on Open Knob engaged the Union brigade of Brigadier General William R. Terrell, resulting in a fierce firefight and heavy casualties for the Union. In the Confederate center, Colonel Thomas M. Jones initiated an attack without orders and was repulsed by Union artillery and infantry fire. Brigadier General John C. Brown then took over the attack but made little progress until successes on the Confederate left increased pressure on the Union position. On the Confederate left, Brigadier General Bushrod R. Johnson's brigade attacked the Union forces posted on land owned by Squire Henry P. Bottom. They were met with disorganized and partially friendly fire, but eventually managed to engage the Union troops in a battle from Stonewall to Stonewall. General Cleburn's brigade joined the attack and pushed the Union forces back. Throughout the day, General Buell's army gradually arrived and positioned themselves, but Buell did not exert effective control over the battle. The Confederate attacks on McCook's First Corps were the most intense and bloody, but the Union forces managed to hold their ground. The Confederate attacks were repulsed, and the day ended with the Confederates withdrawing to the vicinity of Open Knob. Aftermath. After Braxton Bragg's tactical victory at Perryville, he realized his strategic vulnerability and ordered a withdrawal. He joined forces with Kirby Smith and skirmished with the Union Army but decided to retreat to Knoxville due to lack of support. Bragg faced criticism from his officers but remained in command. Buell's pursuit of Bragg was lackluster, resulting in a reorganization of Union forces. The Union maintained control of Kentucky after the battle, which was considered a turning point in the war. The Perryville battlefield is now preserved as a historic site, with over 1,202 acres saved through conservation efforts.